Hi, I'm Jack Baruzzini, and you're listening to The Secrets of Stargate, where we talk about the hidden meanings and deeper layers found in the Stargate movies, TV series, and more. And joining me today are Jeff Haecker. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Jack.
And Lisa Jones. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Jack.
And Victor Lambs. Hey, Victor.
Hi, Jack. Happy 200.
Yeah, it's a special episode for us. 200. I think I read somewhere that like the vast majority of podcasts don't make it past like 10 episodes. So
Yes.
we're definitely in the small minority there that have gone that far. And it's crazy that we've made it all the way to 200.
Who'd have thought however many years ago we started this, right?
4 years ago, April of 2021, I believe.
Yeah. And I was doing the math on it, and I think that if we do every single show all the way through the end of universe, it's going to take us through like middle of 27, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'll still be here.
Like that,
I didn't think I'd make it past a year. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, it was, but it's been fun. So today, instead of talking about our next episode, we're going to be going around doing some fun questions about what our favorite episodes are, different aspects of Stargate. So it's going to be a good time. I was hoping that we could get some like streamers and balloons and stuff, but we didn't have time for that.
It's our 200 favorite Kawooshes.
Yes.
There you go.
So no episode synopsis today, but we do have some questions, and some of these questions my co-panelists here have not been read in on, so it'll be live and spontaneous here. But I thought we'd start off with kind of a good grounding question, and we can go around the room here. What are your top 5 self-contained episodes of Stargate? So these are what we might call the Planet of the Week episodes. Just fun little self-contained stories. And we will start with Lisa.
Oh, man.
I know, you get to go first.
Okay. This is hard. This is really hard when you start really looking at them. I mean, the 5 worst would be much easier. Okay, so I polled my family, so they gave me lots of answers, which made it harder for me. So I'm going to start with the 5th race. I love that one.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Upgrades. That was my son's favorite for technology reasons. 2010, the Ashen.
Yes.
Beneath the Surface, because all the shippy things. And then, wait, is that 5 or 6? Okay, I have one more, and then I have 6. And then I had Lost City.
Excellent.
Which I guess is a 2-parter, so I don't know if that counts. And then my absolute favorite is Window of Opportunity, which
absolutely
is probably a huge fan favorite. So those were my 5/6 episodes. But I'm sure there's 100 more. But
and your first one again was?
I don't know. What did I say?
Oh,
the 5th race.
5th race. Yeah, that's a really good one. It sets up a lot of the lore of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to meet, I think, the Asgard for the first time in that episode.
We do. And that's the first time that Jack gets his the knowledge downloaded into his brain, and he starts speaking another language that he doesn't understand. And it had lore, like you said, but also just a lot of fun character moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed Upgrades was on your list as well. What was it that appealed to you about that one?
I think it again was the fun. It was like once they put it's like, oh, alien technology, like we always say, what could go wrong? Let's try it out. And then, next thing you know, they're in a barroom fight and drinking Diet Coke and steaks and stealing Naquita. And, it's just, again, it was pushing us towards a new point in the story, because we did have, we had a niece in a couple of these, I just realized. But and a lot of these were season 4 also.
Yeah.
But I love the interaction and the fun and the kind of lightheartedness. I think that's what Stargate does so well, is the character interaction, and they don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, and Beneath the Surface too, you mentioned that for the shippy moments.
The ship. It was one of those that it opens and you're like, what did I miss? Why are they in this orange planet and mining and have different names? And so I like the intro. And then the fact that they can't let go of each other, whether it's Sam and Jack or it's Teal'c or they all still come together and know that they're friends, even though they allegedly have their minds wiped. So that's I think that was second half of season 4, if I remember correctly.
And Jack, when we did that episode, you pointed out that the guns that the guards have in that episode are actually NES blasters.
Zappers,
rather.
Yeah. And then I think 2010, because of the, again, leap forward in time, it starts and you don't know what's going on. It's the future. They've met this race that has solved all of humanity's problems, which is amazing and never is reality. And then again, they're all drawn back together to save the Earth or save the planet. And they have to rely on each other and give of themselves and sacrifice themselves in order to do it. And we get Janet as well. And yeah, I like that one. And of course, there's a little shippy moment in that one too.
Yeah.
At the lake. I like that.
Perhaps the most significant thing is Walter gets his name for the first time.
That's right. And you know what? Some of these have a lot of things that my family says. So, and we're walking like that. We say that to each other. In the 5th race, we'll say bend your Kozars, So, I mean, there's just little moments I think that we pull from each other. So I like that. And then Lost City, I think because it's wrapping up the storylines and we're getting closer to Atlantis, it ends in a cliffhanger. Jack loses his faculties again with the Asgard downloaded. I think I just really like the team drama ones.
Yeah, those are really good. Jeff, how about your list?
Yeah, there's a little bit of crossover too, which might not surprise anybody, but I had Lost City I had that in my 2-part list. So, but I love that one. That is one of my favorite overall stories in Stargate. Mm. And I also had Upgrades because that episode, like you said, Lisa, was just so much fun with the making them all go all kooky, but they're also giving into their powers. Especially Daniel, he's a nerd, but he's powerful now, and he can beat up the guys in the bar. And Sam wants the Diet Coke because she likes the taste.
Yeah.
So that one was fun. And of course, I have Window of Opportunity because why not? I mean, that's just one of my again favorite episodes as well. The ones that I had on here that were not on your list, and 5th race too. It wasn't on my list, but that's a good one. So I really like Thor's Chariot, which is I think it's a season 2 episode, which is when they go back to I forget the name of the planet, but the first Asgard planet they come across, or the first human or protected planet they come across, and they go back because I think it's Hera is attacking. And they have to basically solve the puzzles and get Thor's ship to come down, and just I love this ship, the Asgard mothership descending and through the storm. That one's a lot of fun. Of course, I have Wormhole Extreme because again that's such a fun one. And it's kind of a 2-parter if you count 200, which we haven't talked about on the show yet, so I won't go too into detail, but. That's those two are one of my favorites. Willie Garson, I believe is the actor's name. It plays
yes. Marty.
What's his name?
Marty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are just fun. And then the other one I had on here, I counted as a single episode, even though it's technically a 2-parter, or I think a 3-parter, is Fallen, which is the premiere of season 7. Mm-hmm. And I love that one just because it has one of my favorite ship things, which is it's the F-302, Jack and Sam, doing their Death Star trench run on Anubis's mothership. And I love, space combat and ships, and that's one of my favorite things because a lot of Stargate, you don't get a lot of ship to ship. You get, you may 2 ships shooting at each other, but not a lot of really, dogfighting type stuff. So I think that might be one of the best in SG-1, aside from Lost City, when you see the big dogfight over Antarctica. So, those are the ones I had. And I was trying to, I thought of the 5th race too, and other ones. So, a lot of good ones.
Yeah, Thor's chariot almost made my list too, just because that's the first time we witnessed the power of the Asgard, and that moment where they're just like deleting the Jaffa and the Gould motherships is just so excellent. I'll go next. So I, of course, I wanted to put Window of Opportunity on it, but I knew it would show up on other lists. So I didn't do that. I have two ones that are kind of dark, and then the other three I really like the kind of meta fun episodes too. So the two, A Matter of Time. This is midway through season 2.
Yeah,
it's not Wormhole Extreme, but it's an extreme wormhole and black hole on the other side. And I like it because we get a lot of like wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. We get to see really the consequences of going on these missions. That safety is not guaranteed. We lose an entire SG team in it, and the solution requires Jack working with an old friend from his like special ops days and stuff. So I really like that. It's a really good science fiction episode. Introduced a lot of us to the concept of time dilation for the first time. And the other kind of dark one I really like is The Other Side from season 4, and that's the one that had Renee Auberjonois in it as kind of the space Nazi, because it presents the team with a real moral choice here. It's like, do we keep helping this person who has what we need at minimal cost to us, but they're also kind of a genocidal, maniac? And really good drama in that episode, really good performances. And then of course the ending is pretty grim as well, where Jack basically closes the iris on Odo, or the character as he goes through through the gate. And then the three fun ones, I of course had Wormhole Extreme on there because everything about that episode is just a perfect kind of meta episode. All of the directors show up. Peter DeLuise's brother, Michael DeLuise, plays, the Jack O'Neill analog. There's a lot of good in-jokes in it. And it's just a lot of fun to watch pretty much any time. 1969, I also liked. That was way back in season 2, and they were already kind of having fun with the premise of the Stargate. Not only do we get some cool, 1960s antics in it, we get to see, back when Cheyenne Mountain was an ICBM site, which I don't think it ever was, but
that you know of.
That you know of, right? and we get to see, the Stargate before it was in the SGC too. So that was a lot of fun. And then I also like The Other Guys from season 6. I wanted to pick a season 6 episode to shout out to the Jonas Quinn fans out there, where we have I think Peter McKenna and Dr. Phlox, whose the actor's name escapes me, but we kind of see what happens
Billingsley, I think.
Yeah, Peter Billingsley, excellent. Billingsley, yeah, we get to see them what other people are doing when SG-1 is off on their missions, and it all goes horribly awry, and it's funny, and there's some high stakes in that as well. So those were mine. Jack, did you have any that we hadn't covered yet?
Yeah, I got a few. Obviously, I've got like Window of Opportunity on there because that's just one of the best episodes. I also have Paradise Lost, the episode where O'Neill and Mayburn are stuck on the planet. I like it because it's almost got a kind of like, it's got like an Apocalypse Now meets Predator kind of vibe. They're stuck in the jungle. They're kind of losing their minds. It's a cat and mouse hunting. I really like that one a lot. I really like Citizen Joe. I think that's one of my favorites because I like the kind of the reversal you get, and you get the story filtered through this normal guy. I really enjoyed that one. I liked Hathor a lot just because she does a great job of chewing the scenery.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. I really like The Torment of Tantalus.
Yeah.
We get to meet what's his name?
Oh, what's his name?
Ernest.
Yes.
Ernest. Yeah. I like that one. Just the concept of him being stuck there for years and years. Got a kind of cosmic horror vibe to it. And I know this is going to come out of left field, but I have a One False Step on my list.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
It's so bad that I love it.
I kept thinking of Emancipation along those lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
The singing aliens with the very visible zippers on their back.
Oh, that's
Yeah. You just don't see enough of that these days.
funny.
No, it's not a good episode, but it's a great episode.
Do you know Citizen Joe and Hathor were both on my family's list?
Nice.
Yeah, they both had. I mean, of the 5 of them, they had that one on there too.
And also, so the way the question was worded was, what are your top 5 self-contained episodes of Stargate? You didn't specify SG-1 or Atlantis. So
no, I didn't. It's anything, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw Duet on there, which we covered
Good,
fairly
that is very
recently.
good, yeah.
That one's amazing.
Yeah, the one where Rodney McKay takes on the additional mind of the young female Marine who is stationed with them. Yeah, those are some good picks. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't seen any of those episodes or watched our episodes on those episodes, go back, Google them or look them up on YouTube because they are great. Yeah, and probably those episodes will be our shortest episodes of the podcast because if if things are really good, we don't have a lot to talk about.
That's very true.
All right, so a related question here. What's your favorite multi-episode story arc? I'll go first. So we have these self-contained episodes and they're a lot of fun, but the writers obviously want to build things out to cliffhangers or build the mythos of the Stargate universe. My favorite is one we did pretty recently, and that is the Siege parts 1, 2, and 3 from Atlantis. And I really like that because there's a slow build to it where, Atlantis is in a precarious situation anyways, but they build up that like, oh, now we've got long range sensors. This is great. Oh no, there's a fleet of Wraith Hive ships heading our way. And they build that up. How are we going to power the shields? How are we going to do this and that? We get some really epic firefights. The Daedalus shows up for the first time. So there's a lot going on. It's a lot of action, and I like a lot of action. So that was my pick. Yeah, Jeff, did you have anything that was not? I know you mentioned Lost City.
Yeah, I love Lost City. Like, just to echo what Lisa said, it's like it's one of my favorites just because it's kind of the last of the original team all kind of working together, and it's got good action, some good like puzzle solving, some good overall stuff. So other favorite, I also like this, had the Siege on my list, but a couple other ones were Mobius, just because we covered that one not too long ago, but just such a fun episode of time travel, and seeing what alternate what their alternates do, and they're all kind of lame in comparison to their real their main timeline versions. And then the other multi-part I had on here, or multi-episode, was Heroes, which is the one where unfortunately Dr. Fraser gets killed in action. And that one was, it's not as much of a fun one, but it is a really good one because it's really one of the first times you get a main character on the show, a main, who's been around for more than a season, actually, die on the show. So it really gave it some stakes. Of course they didn't kill off any of the main, any of SG-1 or anything, but Daniel does, but he's coming back, so you don't feel too bad for him. But and speaking of Jan, I forgot to mention, but one of my what was on my honorable mentions list was Ripple Effect, which is one we're going to cover fairly soon for season 9. But it's we might see the return of an old friend or two. So that's all I'll say for now. But yeah, Heroes was a lot of the multi-parts are really good because they're the mid-season breaks, or they're the season finale, season premiere, split or whatever. So, but yeah, those are the ones I had.
How about you, Lisa?
This is not fair. I'm just lodging my complaint right now. So,
I never promised to be fair.
Okay, so I have 2 sets. Okay, so one would be, like what Jeff said, really threads through. I cannot say this. Moebius. Is that how you say it? Mobius. I can never say that. Okay, so really those last 3 episodes or so of season 8 of SG-1, because we just talked about it, I know, recently on the podcast, but it just wraps up. It should have been the series finale. It really just wraps up the whole show in a beautiful way. And you can go back and listen to that episode, and we talked about it at length, and I loved it. It was really done well. And then my other one would be to go from Lost City into Rising. So to go from the end of season 7 for Stargate, where Jack is trapped and have they found Atlantis or not, and all this stuff, and then to go right into the start of Atlantis. And I really think the pilot episodes of Atlantis were very well done.
Mm-hmm.
We watched them, here, I guess almost a year ago now, probably, but watching them again, they just, oh gosh, the showrunners and the executive producers and the directors, they all just knew what they were doing by the time they hit Atlantis after having 7 years of SG-1, and they were very, very well done. Okay, I'll leave it there.
Anything to add, Jack?
Well, I definitely think Mobius is probably would be my number one pick. It's probably my number one pick just for best episodes of Stargate, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really like it's a Summit and The Last Stand, that two-parter, where you get to see the Gould Summit, see Daniel going incognito and all the hijinks that ensue from that. I really like that because that's kind of like the Gould at their height.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like from there, that's where everything starts to fall apart from them, and we see them getting picked off one by one. So that's definitely up there for me.
Awesome. Yeah, some really good picks. All right, we'll move into some fun questions here. Not that those weren't fun, but who was your favorite Stargate guest star? And I think we'll start with Jeff on this one.
Okay. I'm not the best at remembering all the guest stars, so the ones I have on here are ones that really stuck out. And they probably will be on y'all's list too, or some of them. But I already mentioned in Wormhole Extreme in 200, but probably my favorite is Willie Garson as Marty. Just such a fun character. You start off, he's just kind of a crazy guy who's actually an alien who his alien friends are giving him memory suppressants, and he makes a TV show. And then eventually more happens in 200 again. I won't spoil, but he was so much fun. And then Citizen Joe was also an honorable mention, so I'll throw Dan Castellaneta on there because that was again another fun one of self-referential humor type stuff. And then the other, like, these are all kind of humorous guests because I don't remember the action guest stars as much, but I also had Dom DeLuise from Ergo on here. Just such a fun episode, and I'm a child of the 90s and just heard Dom DeLuise and everything. So he was so much fun in that episode. But yeah, that's what I got.
Nice.
Awesome. Jack?
I think my favorite is going to be Rene Auberjonois from his episode on The Other Side. Because he's just such a fantastic actor. He's one of my favorites. I love him as Odo, and so seeing him play a villain, but a very subtle villain, was really cool to see.
And if you like Rene Auberjonois, I will just put in a plug for Secrets of Movie and TV. Coming out in March sometime will be our Ghibli Guys, our Studio Ghibli episode on The Cat Returns, and Rene Auberjonois plays a voice acts a character in that movie. So the English dub of that. So worth watching that as well.
Nice.
Lisa?
Okay, my number one was Dom DeLuise in Ergo.
Yes.
I mean, it really what Jeff said. I mean, he's hysterical. It was so well done. It's definitely memorable, and you cannot hear "Row, row, row your boat," ever again without hearing him sing it. So I'm going to go with my two honorable mentions, and one would be Suanne Braun as Hathor, because the fact that she gave us a shout out on Twitter really helped her ex, and she's just really embodied that character, and I can't believe that it was a one-time episode for her. That they didn't bring her. Find some way. Like Neardy came back several times. Like they should have brought Hathor back. She really was great. And so my honorable mention, which I'm not sure if he fits in this category, is Corin Nimmick.
Oh yeah,
Jonas Quinn. Because as we talked about, I am a huge Jonas Quinn fan. He was a breath of fresh air. I really loved him in season 6, and I really I don't know. I hate that. I mean, it was good that Michael Shanks came back, right? But I hated that we lost him. So he brought something really special to that season.
Yeah, he was an amazing character. And even though a regular through season 6, he was a guest star in season 7.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I had a couple that weren't on the list. You just mentioned heroes, so I really quickly had to add Saul Rubinek, who played Emmett Brightman in that. Phenomenal actor who just came onto the show. And that episode needed like a center, like a moral center or something to tie it together, just because it is such a powerful two-parter. And his kind of speech that he gives around, the importance of the press and filming what's happening here, even though it's unpleasant, and how the world has a right to know. I think it's probably like one of the most effective moments in the show. Definitely the most effective monologue that he gives there in Heroes Part 2. I, of course, had Dom DeLuise on my list, but then also Dwight Schultz as the gamekeeper. Even though he didn't have a lot to do, it was just fun to see him again, especially at the end of that episode where people are awakening from their game pods and starting to pick the flowers that he's cultivated so lovingly over the past who knows how many years. It was a fun turn there as well. Okay, a couple other questions here. What's your favorite piece of alien technology or, alien technology that you would like to have at your disposal? We've seen a lot of different alien races, advanced alien races on the show, the Asgard, the Nox, the Ancients, Tolans. I'll go first on this. And I think the personal shield emitter, the Ancients, personal shield emitter, we've only seen this once so far in the Atlantis episode Hide and Seek, where Rodney McKay kind of impulsively puts it on him and becomes invincible. He can be thrown off balconies. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow him to eat or drink, which for that character is a death sentence. I guess for all of us it would be, but for him even more so. I just think that would be really neat to be able to put that on and like jump off buildings and not get hurt. Or use it to help people, I guess.
Use it for good or evil.
Yeah, or just fun. Jeff, did you have any picks in this?
Yeah, I have probably my favorite piece of tech just because I love Groundhog Day as the window of opportunity time loop
Yes.
thing. Love time loop episodes in various shows, and I would love to have that because I could catch up on reading. I could catch up on a lot of things if I could loop time and remember it. I would only want it to affect me probably, and I wouldn't want it to affect however many worlds it was and millions, billions of people. But I would love to be able to to catch up on my never ending to be read list or to be watch list and stuff. So like I said, Groundhog Day is a good one of my favorite movies. So would love to be able to be able to turn that off and on and actually use it without any consequences. But it, of course, would have to have consequences because that's how it is in the show. So it wouldn't be a sci-fi without some kind of monkey's paw to it. So, but yeah, I'll go with the window of opportunity time loop.
Awesome. Over to you, Lisa.
Okay, so I have the coolest alien tech that I don't want it, but would be the download the Asgard knowledge into your brain, the thing that grabs your head, and that was pretty cool. But if I was going to use it, I liked the mirror that you touch it and you can go to a different alternative universe, which was kind of cool. We saw it a couple of times. And then the one I personally would want is the armbands from Upgrades, because I could get a lot of stuff done very quickly. That'd be nice. I mean, I might be a little arrogant and think I'm invincible and all that stuff, but I could get a lot of stuff done. Remember when, was it Daniel Jackson's like, I could read really fast, That'd be
Would be a lot of fun. Yeah. How about you, Jack?
The Stargate, obviously.
It's
the piece of alien technology.
It's the piece of alien technology. Yeah.
Yeah, either that or a ZPM would be nice because I would just plug that into my house and never pay my power bill again.
You just need a toaster, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll skip over the next one because I think that'd be a good one to finish up on. But we'll go to the next one. Like, who is your favorite Stargate villain? So we've seen a lot of really good, excellent villains on the show. I think we'll start with Jack this time.
I know this is probably a common answer, but it's Ball.
Yeah.
Especially in his the most recent episode he was in, where he's trying to be like a .com billionaire. That was fun to see. Also a little bit timely, but
yeah, exactly. How about you, Lisa?
Okay. I was not a Ball fan. I think we know that about Abyss. So I have two, and my favorite Gould was Apophis, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't die for the longest, right? I mean, he just kept popping up, tormenting Teal'c and tormenting SG-1. And then you think he's gone, and then he shows up with Sokar, and he's lost half his face and this and that. And how many times can Teal'c say dead false god? And I don't know. He was the over the top. I remember when Jack, started watching, and it's like Apophis was the caricature of an evil villain, over the top and always like weird outfits and eye makeup and, all kinds of stuff going on. So I liked Apophis. Then my second, and I guess he's a pseudo villain, would be Mayborn.
Yeah.
Because he does start out as a villain, but I don't know. He's got this bromance going with Jack and this buddy thing. And then we don't hate him anymore, but he's still not a good guy. So I grow to love Mayborn. One of my kids said we should put Rodney McKay on that list, by the way.
Oh, no.
Well, because when we first see him, remember?
Yeah, he is.
He was
a
jerk. But I said, no, because Atlantis, we like him.
Yeah. How about you, Jeff?
Yeah, so Ball was on my list as well. Probably favorite Gould. So, he's just so much fun. Another one that I liked, I won't say who it is because it would be a spoiler for Jack, but a certain Wraith that we'll meet in a couple seasons.
Yeah.
That has a, it's all saves, but a certain Wraith who kind of becomes a main big bad of the show. He was just a lot of fun. And I thought about putting Mayborn on mine because he was started off as a villain, but another good one is Kinsey. He's just kind of a recurring, and he's mostly not an alien except at the very end. He's mostly just a jerk politician who is just trying to further his agenda, and he'll do whatever. And he's just so slimy. He's just fun to watch and fun to he chews the scenery too. So I'll go with Kinsey as probably Kinsey and Ball are probably, and then the Wraith, like I said.
Yeah, definitely that particular Wraith was on my list. We'll say no more at this time. But of the villains we've seen so far, I really like Augustus Kolya from Atlantis, played by Robert Davi, just because he's so he's so bad. I like his guns, and he's smart. His plans never really work, but it's not really his fault that they don't work, I guess. I mean, maybe he's too single-minded, but I just really like the way he's played, and he has cool outfits, and every time he says something, it's just so frightening. He's so intense. All right, we'll go back to the other question, and I'll go first on this one. If you could be any character in Stargate, who would you want to be? And interestingly enough, my choice showed up on Lisa's list of villains, and that is Harry Mayborn, because he's just a guy, but he's very smart and resourceful. He knows how to, play the long game and play both sides against the middle, and he winds up a king on a planet in the end. So I really like that. I think that would be cool to be king on a planet, and I just really like him. He has a sense of humor, and he's smart and funny, and all around good guy. So that's who I would like to be in Stargate.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Who wants to go next? Anybody?
I guess I'll go next. Not really sure who I would want to be, but I definitely identify with the scientists from the other guys. They have to work around. Maybe it's just some sort of imposter syndrome, but working around highly technical people and being pretty good at what you do, but never feeling very socially having a lot of social aptitude. So I definitely identify with that. But I mean, I guess anyone would want to be Teal.
I talk too much to be Teal.
Yeah. Lisa, do you want to go next?
Okay, I think my obvious answer would be Carter. I guess coming of age in the 90s, I think she represented the 90s heroine in that she could do everything. She could. I mean, she's smart. She's a soldier. She can fly planes. She can kick butt. She can do all the things, and yet she's still tender. Like with Cassie, and doubts herself at times, but manages to buckle down when there's a problem and fix it and solve it for everybody. So I guess I don't like the short hair though, so I wouldn't do that. But other than that, I think Carter. But if I had to pick a non-major character, I would say probably Major Davis, because he's always like around figuring stuff out. And I don't know. I don't actually know what his job is, but he always just manages to like slide in and be part of the team and be part of the cool people. Like when their bodies are cloned, that episode, Foothold. He's just around and seems like a upstanding person. So,
how about you, Jeff?
Yeah, so if I was going picking a main character B, I would probably go with Shepard. I love Jack O'Neill. He is probably one of my favorite characters. I don't know if I would want to be Jack though, because he's Shepard is more. When you meet Shepard, he's more younger, kind of in the prime of his life, and he's he has some of the little bit of urge to buck authority like Jack does. And he's an ace pilot, which I'm not a pilot of any sort, but I love playing video games, flying video games. So it'd be cool to fly some of these ships that he gets to pilot. And the other thing is he's not just just the stereotypical kind of military guy with no intelligence. And I mean, O'Neill's smart, and like Carter says, he's smarter than people give him credit for and whatnot, but he actually is pretty smart and can, help figure things out, and he's not just the brawn, but he's, intelligent as well. So, and yeah, he's just a lot of fun in Atlantis. So I think I would go with him as a main character. But if I was going, not side character, but one of the guests or recurring, I'd probably go with Walter. He's just a lot of fun, and he's the guy that everyone, he's the guy who's going to help you out and do whatever you need to do, and he's always the most efficient. Always he cracks jokes, and I wish I had that sense of humor of Walter in the actor. But yeah, I'll go with Shepard or Walter would probably be my picks for those.
I'm changing mine to Walter too.
I'm changing mine to Walter as well.
I'm going to be Chuck the technician.
Yeah. Awesome. So those are the questions that you guys know I'm going to ask. I do have some lightning round questions. These are like 1 to 2 word answers.
Oh, okay.
Favorite ship, and by this I mean spaceship.
Pegasus.
Yeah, the Atlantis flying city is pretty awesome. Jeff?
I love the F-302s. So yeah, I'll probably go with that. My favorite bigger ship though is probably the Daedalus. It's just both are cool. So
yeah, the Daedalus was my choice there. It just looks so good, and it has all the guns and all the beamings. And Lisa, I know you're not a big spaceship person.
I'm not a spaceship person, but I am a ship person. So I would say Sam Jack all day long.
That's the next question. The next question is favorite ship between characters. So you can answer that.
Yeah. Oh, Sam Jack. I saw it way back in the day, and it was one of the things I loved about the show is that it was there, but it wasn't there, and you could read what you wanted into it, which made it more interesting to me. So
and of course, my answer is Sam and Daniel, of course, because there's way more chemistry between them in the first 7 or so seasons than there is between Sam and Jack.
You could say Sam and Rodney.
Sam and Daniel is my answer. I won't put Jack or Jeff on the spot unless they have an answer.
I was going to say Teal'c and his awkward interactions with his neighbor.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. you don't really get to see the relationship much, but Beckett and Cadman were kind of a fun, potential ship that we don't really get to see take off really. So yeah, I'll go with them. There's another one, but it's a spoiler for later Atlantis, so I won't go there yet.
Okay, yeah. Ronan and a certain doctor, I'm guessing, but
or maybe.
All right, and this next one. So we've seen a lot of different alien planets. Some are nice, some are not so nice. But the question here is, which alien planet would you like most to retire on? So you can choose to retire on any of the alien. I'll go first. I would choose the Nox planet because it seemed really nice. And if you ever got bored of just living in the woods, you could go up to the floating city above it. So I think that would be pretty nice. I think the Nox would be pretty cool to have as neighbors, and if you died, they could bring you back to life. Maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd say, Atlantis looks like it'd be pretty cool to live on.
That's true.
Yeah. Lots of cool stuff.
Kind of dangerous, but cool.
I don't know, Jeff, did you have any answer?
Yeah, I was trying to think.
There's so many planets.
Yeah. It might be kind of nice to live on I forget the name of the planet, but the 100 Days planet where everyone, your lifespan is 100 days. After they fix that, I wouldn't want to go there and live just 100 days. But
oh, that's not the 100 Days planet. That's
where everybody.
What is it? Yeah.
I forgot what it's
whatever that one.
The other one. Yeah.
The one with
not the 100 Days
cake.
planet. I don't want to go there, but. But the one,
cool
it was like the third or fourth episode of season 1 where the people age rapidly, I think that you just get to hang out and eat and be merry all the time.
Argos.
Yeah,
Argos is the name of the planet.
Brief Candle. Yeah.
Brief Candle. There you go.
I was actually going to say the 100 Days planet seems nice. People work together. It's very friendly planet. I guess my only issue is if Lara's still there, I couldn't deal with that. But it seemed like a really nice
and Jack
planet.
Jr.
Yeah, and Jack Jr. But I could canoe, I'm sure,
Yeah.
Hang out and whatever. Well, I don't know, whatever they did, but it looked very peaceful.
Yeah. Very idyllic.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then our last of the lightning round questions, and our last question for this evening. So we've seen a lot of alien races. Some are cool, some are not cool. Which aliens do you think would be the worst neighbors? And so if you had to live next to any of these aliens what we've seen on the show, which ones would you like least to live next to and have to interact with it on a daily basis? And for me, I hate the Madronans. I know these are the people who had the touchstone that control their weather, and when it got stolen, they became completely helpless and were just always complaining about where's our touchstone? Bring back our touchstone. We can't function without our touchstone. I would not want to live next to them. They are horrible, and I think they never should have brought back the touchstone. Just end it there. But that's I would not like to live on Madrona or with the Madronans. They are no good, in my opinion. But I don't know. Maybe some people like them, but I don't.
Yeah, I'd have to go with the Tolan.
They're pretty bad.
They're just obnoxious. They come outside and they'd be getting their copies of the New Yorker out of their mailbox. And
Yeah.
Probably leave you alone though, because they don't like to interfere.
Yeah.
I guess, but they'd be judging you and you could feel it.
They would silently judge you. Yeah.
The Tolan were actually my answer because they're arrogant and know everything, and you're an idiot, and they're boring.
Yeah.
Even their drama is boring. And I mean, you're not going to find if you're not married, you're not going to find a potential boyfriend there, right?
Nope.
No, because we know how that turns out.
Very boring.
I would probably go with the Janai, because they'd always be spying on you, and they're always up to something, and trying to take your C4 if you have C4. Don't have C4, just to be clear for anyone, but they'd be trying to take what you have, and how they could, twist their relationship to their advantage. And, they'd probably be nice neighbors because they would be pretending to be, simple, but, they'd be secretly spying on you and ready to take you out if they ever thought you were going to bother them or go against them in any way. So I probably wouldn't want to be anywhere near the Janai.
No. Hey, neighbor, can I trouble you for a cup of C4? No, I don't have any C4. I can come in your house and look around for it. It's no trouble. Let me in. I'll go down into your basement and I'll look around, see if you have any C4. It's like, no, we don't have any C4. Okay. I
You
don't
said
really.
it just like from the Ashen, the guy.
The Ashen would be pretty bad too.
Yeah. I was thinking the Ori would be pretty bad. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
The Ori would be bad because if you didn't worship them, they'd kill you or give you a plague and then heal you just to do it again 6 months later when you decide you don't like them anymore.
You go out to mow your lawn and your lawn is completely dead. Yeah. And you're like, did you do this, Ori? It's like, hello, Daddy, Ori. But yeah.
I feel like if you had the Wraith as neighbors, you could just tell them where the nearest Hot Topic was and that would distract them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or just get like the nearest cul-de-sac and just tell them, no, that one's for you.
Exactly. These are your plentiful feeding grounds.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, those are all the questions I had. Do we have any like any thoughts? It's been an amazing, I would say, 200 episodes on this podcast. It is really wild when you think that we started this kind of in the middle of COVID, but we've stuck it out, and we're grateful to all of our listeners and viewers who have stuck it out with us. Yeah,
definitely. It's a fun ride, and hoping let's get to 200 more of these. And we do definitely want to hear everyone's answers to these questions. So we'll actually post those in the Discord at sqpn.com/Discord. We'll drop that in there so we can hear y'all's thoughts on these.
I like that. And tell us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we missed an obvious. I feel like we probably missed something that's obvious. So tell us what it was, please.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I had. Jeff, any thoughts?
No, I know I'm a more recent addition, but I'm the Jonas Quinn sort of this. But yeah, happy to be here. And yeah, I started out just as a listener and enjoyed rewatching Stargate with y'all, and now I get to rewatch and talk about it weekly. So happy to be here, and thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, we are.
Awesome. Before we go, we would like to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create all 200 episodes of Secrets of Stargate and many more, including Sam C., Jack O., Dan J., Cameron M., and Teal'c C. Their generous donations at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue the Secrets of Stargate and all the shows at StarQuest. You can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. And be sure to follow the show on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and you can find the video versions at youtube.com/StarQuestMedia. To find previous episodes of Secrets of Stargate and to send us feedback, you can visit sqpn.com/Stargate. You can email us at stargate@sqpn.com and follow StarQuest on social media at facebook.com/StarQuestMedia or on X at SQPN. You can join that Discord and give your own answers to all these questions at sqpn.com/Discord. We'll be back with our next episode. We'll continue our watch along. Until then, Jeff Haecker, thank you for joining us and sharing the Secrets of Stargate.
Thanks, Jack.
And Lisa Jones, thank you as well.
Thanks, Jack.
And Victor Lambs, thank you too.
Thanks, Jack. And remember, things will not calm down, Daniel Jackson. They will, in fact, calm up.
Indeed. Once again, I'm Jack Baruzzini. Thank you for listening to The Secret to Stargate on StarQuest.
Anyway, I'm sorry, but that just happens to be how I feel about it. What do you think?
Braytac. We forgot Braytac.
Oh, man.
I did forget Braytac.
We forgot the Braytac.